Hi there, this is Rachel, and I am recording my response video to the Module 3 post. Again, really enjoyed all of your videos and feedback. It's always interesting to hear everyone's opinion. So just going to talk about the videos and some things that stuck out to me. And I'll try to keep this one shorter than my previous one. So first, Dolores, one of the things I liked in your video was how you talked about mentioning those separate offices and how you believe that it may marginalize those groups more as opposed to encouraging it. I think that's an interesting point, and I don't know that I've ever considered that, but I think that it's a good point, and it's possibly true. You know, you have these spaces that students can go, but then how maybe welcoming is it to others? Or do these students feel like, oh, they see me going into this space, so this is assumed about me? So I just thought that was an interesting point that you brought up. I also like that you offered, or that you talked about offering a religion class or a section, maybe in like a uni class that all the freshmen take. I think that's awesome. I can't remember if I mentioned that in my video or not, but I mean, we talk now, it's mandatory, at least mostly in high school and sometimes in college, that these students take language classes, which I'm not saying that language isn't important, but I think, I don't know, learning about other religions could be possibly just as important. Even, I mean, obviously, especially if you want to study it eventually, but or study it on your own, I guess, but also just being able to understand and not feed into the stereotypes or etc. So I think that'd be a really awesome course. I think I'm actually going to be helping with the uni class in the fall, so I don't know, maybe I'll have to keep that in the back of my mind for that. So, and then moving on to Jared, I thought that your idea about a panel of a panel of different religions, and or guest speakers. I think you made an interesting point about giving people the outlet to relate. I think, you know, maybe like I kind of mentioned in my video, I know it's expensive to bring, you know, someone semi-famous, but I think people sometimes, even if they're not relating directly with their religion, I think people recognize them, and then maybe they maybe aren't telling the story that, you know, students initially thought. So I think that that's interesting that you brought that up, and I think it could be a good way to kind of give them another opportunity to learn. I also like that you talked about inviting others to traditions that are common within your religion. I previously worked for a Muslim family, and they were always like really receptive to like teaching us kind of, you know, when they went through Ramadan, like we would ask them questions, and they invited us to dinner one night when like all of their family was there, and it just gives you if you do the fast all day, you probably appreciate the food more, but it just gives you an idea of kind of a newfound respect almost for some of that stuff. So, and then Aaron, I liked how you talked about ensuring that a space is comfortable for students. I think not just obviously like you know, an office and whatever, but also being sure that staff is professional and prepared to kind of answer those questions and kind of empathize with the struggles, or and when you talked about the or actually I think Hannah mentions it in her video about the safe space training, so I'll just kind of put these two together, I guess. But I wonder maybe if I don't know. I don't know how many faculty and staff take the opportunity to do that safe space training, or if it's something that should be mandatory. I mean, I think about housing, especially where I work, and some situations that maybe not us directly or that we're frequently put into, but definitely do have to. We encounter issues related to LGBTQ students and those that aren't as accepting and targeting students, and so I just wonder if if that is ever mandatory during HR training, or if it could be if maybe if you're in a certain role, or I don't know. It's just a thought, but I just like that you brought that up. And then Hannah, I also like that you talked about student organizations on campus, and how you feel like that is really kind of where that's kind of that relationship starts and understanding. I agree with that. I think it's really important for students to feel like they have their peers to go to. I mean, obviously it's important for them to have kind of an advisor or mentee, or someone that can relate, but I think it's important that they can feel like they are a part of something bigger on a campus, especially as large as UNCW and other North Carolina campuses. So I just thought that was interesting, and I think that student organizations play a really important part. And I wonder if those organizations that aren't as, I won't say prevalent, but that aren't as popular, why? Do they not have the support, or are they concerned about doing events, or do they not have do they need like faculty advisor, or anyway, I think that's just an interesting conversation about what those organizations could do. So again, overall, really enjoyed the videos, and looking forward to the next module. Thanks.